Good morning, good morning, good morning. The content presented on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be considered financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. All opinions expressed are solely those of the presenter and are based on publicly available information. Investing and trading involve risk, including the potential loss of principal. Always conduct your own research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investment decisions. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to GOAT. It's time to get goated. All right, we're seeing that little pullback over here on Bitcoin. We was talking about this for the past 2 days, the fact that the 4 hour time frame was a bit extended and that we could be looking for price action to get the pullback. I gave you two setups, one on the lower time frame, one from the daily time frame, both involving the VWAP. Both saw that rejection from the VWAP. First one's already played out completely. The daily time frame is now looking to play out. You should definitely be in the money if you took the trade setup, given in advance on the stream, on the live stream. We're coming down right now. We're around the golden pocket. Yesterday, I was looking for two long potential setups. I told you I was watching yesterday for the 50% retracement and the golden pocket retracement to hold. Now, that doesn't mean that we go back up and we take out the high and we get to our 382 just yet. It doesn't mean that, but looking for a bounce. Right now, we did get a little bit of a reaction off of the 50% retracement, did not give us much. And now we're at the golden pocket. And now we need to see this golden pocket back test hold for the 4 hour time frame. Now, there is something I'm seeing on this daily time frame that I'm just really not feeling right now. In the talk today, around 2:30ish, because it's not going to be the rate decision that's already been baked in. They're expecting no rate cuts. It's what he says, it's what War says that's going to make a difference in what's going to happen today with the price of Bitcoin. Now, we already parallel parked this thing, and we don't want this to be another bear flag. That's not what I'm looking for. So hopefully it's some sort of a surprise that sends price action back to the upside since we are selling off into today's FOMC meeting. All right. So we're below the value area low already. We're already below that. Let's take a look at that. Dun, 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 dun. Yep. So you can see we just broke down below that. We were holding that. That was in confluence with that 50% retracement level right there. The value area low was. Yeah. So we've lost that. We're at the golden pocket again. Like I said, we're not at the golden pocket. That may not hold. Let me pull a fib from here so I can see if this is exactly where I need to be pulling that fib from. All right. So this is going to put price action somewhere around that point of control if it were to be 63. This is what we were looking at to finish out this move right here anyway. I think I actually had it down to here. No, it doesn't look I had it down to here. It looks like this is what we was looking at anyway to finish out this move, which I extended a little bit more down towards the bottom side of the channel. But anyway, yeah, they were cooking us over there on that 4 hour time frame, cooking us. You can tell we was gonna get that drop. So had no business looking forward to continue pumping to the upside. Let me get over here. Let me take a look at the lower time frame. All right. So you can see it a little bit clearer right here where we got that breakdown from that point, that value area low right here. And to be honest with you, there was really no support around that value area low, to keep it real. Just the idea that, it's a psychological level for a lot of people who play the fixed range volume profile situation. We've already broken below the bounds of the trend line right here. The setup over here from the 15-minute time frame has already played out. Looking forward to come back down here and sweep these lows out. That's done. Let's see. And they kept playing in my face yesterday. For real. Kept playing in my face yesterday with these moves. All right. So this was the first one that we were looking at right here, which was supposed to be the 50. You can see we spiked down into it. We started going sideways. You scraped a few dollars off of it. But that was the end, partner. Now we at this golden pocket. We do need to see this golden pocket hold. We don't see this golden pocket hold. What you got? We can say we want this high to hold, but to be honest with you, we keep pushing, it might be trouble. It might be trouble. Might see that whole daily setup play out all the way with no bounce. No bounce. All right. But we did just break down below this last momentum pivot right here. Like this was an aggressive move right here off of this low of momentum. So we can get that curve back above this point right here. Right now, that's going to be 34.45 on your RSI. Should be the same. I don't care what platform you're using. It should be something similar to that. But anyway, if it's not, then you know that this pivot right here that you're looking at, you want to see momentum swing back up the same way it swung up right here, because we're not matching. The energy is not matching. This low energy over here and this high energy over here are not the same. They're not matching, which means we either see a turn up or we're looking at our next one, and the next one is pretty low. It is pretty low. That's around 25.03. So hands, unless you want to take the aggressive entry right now, you don't need any confirmation. You just want to take the aggressive entry, then there you go. Just go ahead and be in it. But if you want confirmation, I wouldn't move too fast. Okay. I would not move too fast if I wanted confirmation on this move. That's on you. That is up to you. That is up to you. Also, just keep in mind that when I do give a trade setup where I decide to set the stop loss set, where I decide to set the take profit at, does not have to be it. Like, I don't give financial advice. That's number one. I do like to engage. I do like to try to find setups. I do like to do all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, only you know what your money situation is. So you should be basing where you're like, this is the max pain for me. You should know where your max pain is. Even if you take the entry without allowing it to show you whether or not it might hold, you should still know where your stop needs to be at based on your financial situation, how much you're willing to risk. Because this is my risk, which isn't a lot, 0.59. 0.59. It's not a lot. I never do a lot. I honestly never do a lot. And you see some channels and they have the stop loss like this freaking big, knowing that not a single day would they hold on to it with that big old stop loss. Not a single day would they do that. So I don't do it in a way that I know that I wouldn't do it. But I'm just saying, watch yourself. So this one's done. That one's done. You scratch some money off of. You at least got 2-3 out of it. You got a 2-3 out of it because these are some big risk to reward ratios. So you at least got 2-3 out of it. 2-1. I'm sorry. You at least got 2-1 out of it. Out of that little move right there. 2-1. All right. Yeah. So just seeing if we're going to get this momentum to hold here at this golden pocket. Very important level also, again, for the 4-hour time frame, which is what everything is basically being based on right now. We did break this momentum line right here, but that's no biggie. That was to be expected. We were actually looking at this right here. I don't actually want price to come back into this high. Not at this point, I don't. You know, you ever want something before and then all of a sudden it's trying to give it to you. It's like, I don't want it. I don't want it. You can keep it. You can keep it. I need for it to hold right here. Because over time, things do change. Over time, things change, and it could be no good. It could be no good. But what we were looking at, let me drop that. Ooh, loud. Ooh, loud. This is gonna be just like on that 1 hour time frame. But what we were looking at, we was looking at the CC. That's what I was trying to explain to you. Hey, this right here is not about this. It's not about this. This part right here is not uncommon. You can see that everywhere. Like this part right here is not uncommon. Like that's common. That's very common right here. The problem was the signal line being far removed from the channel isn't uncommon. Like, I mean, you'll see it here in the chart, but typically when you see that, it indicates some kind of reversal is coming in. It was really extended, really extended. It was almost getting to a point where your larger signal, like your longer term signal, I mean, that thing takes a while. That longer term signal was about to be on the outside of the channel as well, which, you know, whatever was happening in here. People say it's not a squeeze from what I've heard. I say it was a squeeze from what I could tell in this chart because we had too much chop, chop, chop and bearish divergence. Not here, not here. That most certainly didn't have it on this time frame. Didn't have the bear divs over here, but just the overlap before we finally got an impulsive move. Got a, I'm call it a God candle before we got that little God candle right there. Um, but the same applies over here, not matching that energy. What I'm really looking at, and this is the second move if we were to get up there, but we're not doing this one right now. So don't pay attention to that one right now. But you can see you do got some confluence with that. We'll come back to that when it's time to talk about it. Let me put on. In fact, let me take this away for a minute. I don't want to get into this. Not right now. But if some news come out that's going to drive price up. I don't think the 382 is going to be your place. They may be able to push it back up. Maybe they're trying to reset things before we get to the meeting. Maybe that's the case because the meeting's not until 2:30. So maybe that's what they're trying to do right now. Not that I think that they're watching indicators or anything like that, but it's a thought. It's a thought. Right here. Where you at? Kinetics. All right, so we're around 40. We need to hold this 40. That's where we at. We at 40. Where we at? 46. 46. All right. So we'd already pricked through it and trying to reclaim. All right. So we did actually more than likely hit 40, but that's what that indicates, that we're somewhere down around 40 and we need to hold that. Because if we're not holding that and we start to lose that, then more than likely we're going to end up getting the MACD cross, which is a late signal. Don't get it wrong. MACD cross is a late signal, but it still prints. You can see it print right here, like from there. Even if you entered in on the MACD cross, you still made money. Undoubtedly, you didn't deal with the chop. You didn't have to deal with all of that chop. You just, you got your move. But yeah, that, remember I said once we gone right here, like your candle tends to accelerate a little bit. Not the most aggressive from what I can see right here, but we do want to hold right here. So that's going to apply to that 1 hour. I like to reference the 1 hour. It looks a little bit better in terms of information received, the information being received right now. All right, overextended on the 1 hour time frame. Got a little green dot down below that 1 hour time frame. It looks like the 15 minutes about to try to do something. The 1 hour looks like it's going to try to give us something. I don't want to jump the gun on it. But like I said, we could see that we are below this point over here, don't have the same energy, looking for that momentum to curve up. We're stalling out. We got a little bit of a green candle right here. This is the second setup. Let's hope that this thing right here will bring us back up a little bit, because I need to add to my short. I was looking to add to my long position. I ain't ready to do that right now. And let me tell you, I moved my stop on my position yesterday. And then I re-entered on a new short position. And then, like I said, yesterday was my daughter's birthday, and we ended up having a late dinner. Bitcoin again was playing in my face yesterday, whether or not it was going to hold or fall or whatever. And I was looking at it on the 15-minute time frame. It started getting real whipsawy. I closed it out because, like, I can't trade on my phone. I really can't. I cannot trade on my phone. I closed it out before we left for dinner last night, and I'm sitting at the dinner table. I see her face too. It was all sad, like she felt like she interrupted my trading and stuff like that. So I didn't play with it too much. I added a small little position in. I said I can be okay if I lose this little amount right here. And I shut it down. Guys. So I do want to add something to that position. Because right now I could be in the bank. Right now, but I'm not. So, It is what it is. June 16th. June 16th. Oh, Tupac celebrated his birthday yesterday too. And what Trump birthday was like the day before. All of these personalities. Kanye West is a Gemini. Jeez. Whew. Gemini's, boy. All right. Bitcoin. Have you seen USDT dominance? I did mention this to you back here. When we were coming in, I was saying to you back here, like this was my first place that I was looking for USDT dominance to kind of stall out. We didn't do that. So Bitcoin got more of a push up and USDT dominance got more of a push down, and then we came into the mean for USDT dominance. Now you know what a mean is. When you get a mean reversion, that can be hella bullish. A mean reversion can be hella bullish. So we was watching for this lower bound right here of the support level right here, where we got these highs at right here for USDT dominance. This first one didn't hold. Second one, I kind of figured it could because we also had, like I said, it's a mean reversion. Knew we was going to get a mean reversion right here. You can see the green one right here, which means the RSI mean sits right here. That was the price target. And we talked about that. I gave you that number right there. So you can see we came down to the mean, which is that midline right there is your 50 on your RSI. And then we're starting to get the bounce up right here. I explained that when it comes to the MACD, that this is still corrective. It's corrective, even though MACD got a cross of its signal line, its fast signal line, which is the 9. But anytime MACD is above 0, it's considered to be corrective. It has to be below 0 to be considered a reversal. Okay, so it's corrective above 0, reversal below 0. Remember that. So when you on somebody's stream and they're going, we got a reversal, I'm pretty sure that, I don't know how they mean it, but it is a correction at best until it breaks 0. And when it drops 0, then you can be faced with a reversal. But here you're looking at corrections. All right. We talked about a couple of things, but yeah, here we are. Really need to get back above this point right in here. Need to get back above this, unless this is now acting as some sort of resistance right here. So hopefully it doesn't get back above that if you're interested in a long position. If you're not interested in a long position, then let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it pump. Let it pump. If the candle colors bother you, I can turn those off. Right now, this is a green candle. It doesn't affect like if you look at the border of the candle, it doesn't affect any of that. It is a green candle right now, trying to hold the golden pocket, trying to see that momentum turn up right here. Try to get that bounce back up right here. And then, of course, we have to deal with the breakout. This is a little pattern that I was looking at through here, but of course when you have a pattern and you don't manage to get back to the other side, you got problems. And you can see all this space in between here with these wicks on the top, so that poses as a little bit of a problem for price action. It was really hard for me to try to figure out this line anyway, so what I did was I drew it from a line bias like that, because I could have easily drawn it from here. But I didn't have the same, see right there. I could have easily did it from there, which gives me that same point that we need to cross back up. But if I was trying to do it from here, it wasn't matching with the top side. So you see, it's like that. And then this top was going to be like this. And you can see how they were spreading apart instead of looking more parallel, or more like a I don't want to call it a bull flag because that's too choppy for me to even consider, but like a falling wedge. But that was the situation right here. So I ended up drawing it against the bodies instead of drawing it against the pivots, the exact pivots. So let's drop this right here. Need another one of these. And that's what we got. That's what we got right now. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. No, but maybe I should have kept that line so I can use it because I don't like these long lines that's sitting on the chart right now. Not right now. You know what? Never mind. They do make it easier. Let me just change the style. Let's go with that. Hope everybody's having a wonderful morning. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. As we're seeing if this golden pocket is going to hold, if we're going to need to come in here and fill in some of this space. Fill in some of this space. Now, this is in the middle of nowhere for me, but so was this decision up here for the short. That was in the middle of nowhere for me also. I don't know if maybe it's time for me to go back in and reset my daily level, my daily zones. Maybe not. I mean, you can see how it clearly was respected when we came up right there. Clearly was respected there. They were respected the entire time. Before we got the move to the downside, they were being respected. And well, that last move to the downside, but we just kept rolling over hard off of that daily time frame. Oof, that was something different. I think the daily is just a correction, though. I don't think that we're going to take out that low. I don't think that this bear flaggy looking situation, like right now, at best, it has the appeal. It has the appeal. One thing we didn't get off of that daily that makes me a little skeptical is we didn't get any bullish divergence off of that daily when we got that drop. No bullish deals. We got it on lower time frames. I was saying that to you yesterday. We got it on lower time frames, but we did not get it on that daily. We got it on the weekly, which can still at this point be invalidated. It can. And it's not confirmed reversal just because we got that bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. But I can see that we're going to have to slow down this sell-off, though, because if we don't, we still got bears in control on that daily. It reads neutral because the trend is not aggressively selling off to the downside anymore, but bears are still in control. It's like a 10-point difference between bulls and bears on that daily time frame. But that's perfect. Touch point. This is the test of this trend line. Those are your two touch points. This is your test of this trend line. With the golden pocket, can we hold? And I think it was this trend line here that we just broke. I think it was this trend line right here that we just broke. Did we just break this? Yeah, we just broke this. So let me add VWAPs to the downside and let's find our culprits here. Why I'm feeling like that's it. Why I'm feeling like that's the one. I might have to come back in and move it right here and see. Why am I feeling like that's the one? Is that the one? Is that the one? No, that's not the one. Change this to blue because that's not the one. I only have this other one right here to look at. Change that one to red. And that's why we were looking at this high. I forgot that's exactly why we were looking at this high because of that VWAP right there. I know the other one comes in a lot higher than that, which it doesn't touch this trend line either. So I wouldn't have used it because it doesn't actually come back in and touch the trend line. I put it in here just for reference sakes, but it didn't touch the trend line, so I don't have a reason to use it. And so then you can see, there it goes right there. So I knew it was going to cut through price action. Like that. Going to cut through price action instead. it didn't touch the trend line, so therefore I won't use it regardless. So this is where we are. It may be. It may be that we have to do something like this instead. Make sure that this thing is drawn right, because is it right? Is it right? It's right. It is right. Where else could I have put that fib other than here or here? Which at that point I might as well draw it down here. But when I did that, I think this is what I got. Yeah, this is what I got when I did that. And I don't have anything for reference right through here other than maybe the value area high point of control. Value area high point of control. Let me see what happens if I do this thing. I'm going to sync this. Let me just see. This is for later if that daily plays out that entire move. This will be for later. So I like the fact that the value area high comes in right here at the SR level here, and then the point of control would be a little closer into this golden pocket, which I would be leaning on the golden pocket, obviously. Dum dum dum. All right. It's about right now. It is about right now. And right now we need to see this hole, so I can drop that. Take a look at SPY this morning. I didn't think I was gonna make it this morning. I just keep it real with you. I didn't think I was gonna make it this morning. So with SPY, and I don't have any music playing in the background or anything to tune out my awkwardness, because silence does happen here. Silence does happen on this stream. I get into a state of thinking. All right, so we were looking yesterday, and I was saying to you, well, actually before that, like you've seen the TA here. Welcome if you're new here, but you've seen the TA here, calling for the lows down here, calling for the lows right in here, looking for price action to come back up here into this box right here. We broke through it. We tap danced on it yesterday, and I said I'm gonna keep it right here, looking for us to come back inside this box. Come back inside this box. I said I can see that it likes it. I can see that it respects it, because when it popped up, it came back and it did a little dance. It did a little dance. So I'm gonna leave it here, looking for us to fall back into this range, possibly coming back into this trend line over here. And also at the same time saying, hey, keep your eye on oil. Because even though I have that target on oil has still been hitting some support levels. Okay. Like we broke through that last one. I think that when I looked at it yesterday, we were coming. I was saying that the 70 something was something that you wanted to watch for. I believe it's like 75 or something like that. Let's see what we look like down through here. All right, so we can see where we was looking for this break to happen. We were tap dancing on it yesterday, even though we had already broken momentum to the downside. And now it needs to hold right here. Even if it dips a little bit more, it won't be too far from zero. So this is what I be saying to you. Like, this is corrective until it loses zero. Once it loses zero, it stops being corrective. It starts to become a reversal. Blah blah blah. Like all over here, you can see we stay above zero, 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 stay above zero. Boom, lose zero. You become corrective when you lose zero. So your fast cross is where your MACD crosses the non-EMA. That's your fast signal. It doesn't mean reversal signal. That's why they call it the fast one. The one that's the most important is when it crosses that zero. That's the one that's the most important. when it crosses that zero line, that is super important. Not the fast signal. Like that's an indication, we gonna correct, but I can't tell you right now if we're gonna reverse, but we gonna correct. But when you cross that zero, that's when things are different. You cross that zero, okay. I'm not just correcting, I'm reversing. So need to know. We're close enough to it right now. We're trying to hold it. We need to hold it. Could still come down a little bit more, tap into this trend line right here, still be fine, without any major, you know, any major warning signs or anything like that. So could be fine. Just wanted to see us come back into here and see. I want to know if we're gonna break down from here though. I do want to know if we're gonna break down from here, but right now, she holding. She holding. She's holding. Let me pop up here and look at oil. Yeah, so we got down here to our next point of interest, which is the 75.29. So this is our next point of interest right here. I think this is our last one, is it not? I think that this is our last one. Or do we have? Yep, that's our last one. This is the last one. This is the last one. Oil could hold today. I know I'm looking for it to come back and back test that breakout level. I know I'm looking for it to come back and back test the breakout level, which is this white line right here. But this is the last pivot out of all that chop, that little choppy area that we have. This is the last pivot right here. And when I say these pivots have held up, these pivots have held up. Like we didn't have to change these not one time. Not one time did I have to change these pivots. Not one time throughout this entire thing. This the one. This the last one out of all of this range bound struggle for oil. This is the last one. I don't have any structure in here right now since we got this breakdown. There's zero structure. No structure. Just straight. Just a straight line right now. This 75.29. Hold on now. Why I hate when that happens. When you see your line. No, this is different. This is different. Something's not showing up on one of these. This one's not showing up. Okay. It's like something's not showing up. Let me just go all intervals. There it is. That's the back test of the breakout area. This was the breakout. Actually, let me go on a 24. Make our lives a little bit easier. It don't make it easier to see these levels in here, but nonetheless, this is the breakout right here. This would be the next thing for it to do because, like I said, 75.29 was the last stop that I had in terms of the chop from this area right here. This is the last thing. So I would have to lean towards a back test in here. Maybe it takes a while and it fills in this little gap. It could be that. Maybe it takes a while and fills in this little gap right here. Bitcoin is not. I'll give it some time. I'll give it some time. It's trying to hold that little golden pocket. I'm give it some time. But oil, yeah, maybe it takes a little bit more time. Maybe we see a bounce from here today. Something might. I'm just seriously like something might come up. Something might come up where oil bounces today. I don't know. Maybe it don't. Maybe it don't get all the way down here. Something could come up for oil. And let's just say if it doesn't, if oil doesn't respect this back test and falls through, what do we look? Obviously, I'm gonna come back down here and look somewhere around. Doesn't mean it can't break it because it can break it just like it did right here. But obviously, I'm gonna look somewhere around this midpoint of the channel. That's right here. This is the midpoint of the channel. So when we was looking at this, when I initially posted on it, Let me see if I can hide some stuff. Let's get rid of the triangle. Let me drop the ray. And let me turn off those pivots right there. So when I initially posted on it, I had this low from the bottom side of the channel was sitting right here, and I showed it breach the lower bounds of the channel. I showed this part breaching the lower side of the channel. And you can see it a lot better right now. So I had it sitting on here instead of sitting on here. I felt like that was the best move to make for it. But I ended up moving it right here on stream with you. And I was like, you know what? That's even better. That's even better because you can see the respect, the little bit of respect that it gives around this midpoint right here. A little bit of respect that it gives around the midpoint. So if it did come through here and it didn't respect the back test, what would I be looking for price action to come to? Then I'd be looking for it to come back down here to the midpoint of this channel for oil. That's what I would be looking for. But right now, like I said, you're at a holding point. You're at a point where you have some support. That's pretty much, this right here. It's pretty much this, but that's not where I drew it from. I did everything based on the 4-hour. But you do. You got this right here. You got this. This is the last spot right here. You got major support right here. You got major support at that last zone right there. You got major support. I got the circles in here too. For anybody who talk trash about people who draw circles, I got the circles in here for you. You got circles. I like the circles. The circles tells you a lot. The circles focus your eyes on what's important. That's why I do it. Like I need you to focus. I'm talking to you. I need you to focus. I need you to see. I need you to see the vision. To see this vision in here. I need you to see that. Need to see that. But that's what I'll be looking for. I say it every day until it drills home with you. I will say this every day until it drills home with you. Now you can even have a game plan. For even more of a game plan. You can have even more of a game plan for oil. But yeah, I'm gonna do these circles. Cause it ain't nobody business if I do these circles or not. You got some pretty decent support through here. That's some pretty decent. You can even, maybe not with all of that, but you got some decent support. All right, enough of that. I don't know. I'm just wired to think that something is gonna pop off today. Something besides just something's gonna pop off. I think that today is very important in terms of the Fed rate decision, for one. I didn't see anything pop up right here. Okay, that's fine. Might not be the right one. Let me see. Do I got another triangle in here? Look, I got another one in here. Maybe I don't have it show up there. I don't know. I know that DJT Donald Trump needed to get this peace deal to kind of help wash, because otherwise, we wouldn't have a little bit of a cool off on inflation. We got a little bit of a cool off on inflation because of signing this peace deal. That could go to crap today after this meeting. So stay focused on that 75.29. Get back over here on Biddy. It looked like she wants to come down here, which I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to even take any profits off of the short position that I have open right now. I'm just going to let that sit and get stopped out at break even, if anything. I don't have enough on it to really, if it nukes, then it'll be better, and then it'll stop me out of my long position down there somewhere, maybe. But if not, if not, maybe I'll close them both out at the same time or something. All right, so I guess we got to focus on this little spot right here. It's not ideal for me. Got to focus on this. Let me see if I do fair value gap. What we got on the fair value gap? Yeah, we got this on the fair value gap. So this is the midpoint of that fair value gap. That's why I do it like that. I don't like to see it breach the midpoint. If it's taken at the midpoint, then you might get a full feel of the inefficiency, which is all the way back down here to the SR level, which is at 64,058 right here, 64,058. If we start to break further than the fair value gap. All right, question of the day from the Coin King. Are you ready for the Fed meeting today at around 2 p.m.? I am not. You know why I'm not? I'm not because I'm going to have to be doing a job around that time, which means I won't be anywhere nearby. I'll be on the road during the decision, which is not expected to change. And when the meeting actually takes place, I'll be on the road, so I won't be able to do anything. Why crypto YT? Why crypto YT? Why crypto YT? Good morning. Good morning. So happy to see you, my friend. Good morning. We already slipping in here, slipping and dipping, slipping and dipping. It's not working. It's not working. So the confirmation is the thing, guys. The confirmation is the thing. So we're gonna get that confirmation. Like we need something. We need something. We tried to do a little inside right there. Try to do a little inside range right here. I don't even know what we came up with that doji candle, but we tried to do a little inside range. Didn't work. It's getting ready to do a bounce though. I can see it. I can see it. It's getting ready to do a bounce. It's squeezing way too much to not give us that little bounce. It's about to give us that little bounce. Does it want to wait until we get down here to this VWAP? I'm gonna take a new long, but I'm gonna wait until I get what I'm looking for. Either momentum curves back up right here. Yeah, I'm gonna need for that momentum to curve back up. Let me go to the 15-minute time frame. I hate to go to the 15-minute because it's this 1 hour that I really need to see this happen with. But the 15-minute is stating I am going to give you a bounce right here. That's what the 15-minute is stating. I'm going to give you a bounce right here. I can drop this to two panels, like so, like this. Here's our 15-minute right here. It's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking right here. See this big squeeze? See the squeeze right here? Now, can it continue to squeeze a little bit more? If it wants to, it can. If it wants to, it can. Oh man, speaking of which, how's my short trade going over here? Dang, I got stopped out. I ain't even come back over here to TP off of this thing. God dang it. I got stopped out. I was watching just talking about something else for real quick with you. I was watching Sin City Crypto. Let me tell you, JP has really turned that show into something else. Like, I've always been a fan of Sin City Crypto, so not taking any credit from those guys. Their production has always been nice. It's even nicer now. But anyway, I was watching their stream yesterday. People chime in and they give you all of these different coins. Look at this, look at this, look at this. And people be so happy to lose a trade, win a trade, whatever the situation may be. But they brought up this coin called BSB. So I looked at the chart because I never heard of it before. So I look at the chart. Of course, I always make my own decisions. I'm an analyst. I look at the chart and I make my decisions based on that. I was looking for a breakdown on it before I entered. I knew that we was approaching some resistance on it when they mentioned it. And I took this little short position and I laid the foundation for where I thought price action could bounce from, this, that, and the third, all of that good stuff. I can see now that I just got stopped out of that position. I forgot that I even had the position open, to be honest with you. I forgot I had it open, but I do have that position open over here, and show you what I was looking at on this chart too. Meanwhile, Hyperliquid did get that bounce back up into that. Man, I missed everything yesterday out with my daughter for her birthday. It ain't her fault. It's not her fault. She did nothing wrong. She did nothing. It has nothing to do with her. But I missed some stuff yesterday. I missed I missed that Hyperliquid bounce. I missed the second take profit off of this BSB thing. I missed it. While Bitcoin still squeezing, still squeezing, still squeezing. It's gonna give. That's gonna end up giving, but I can't make it do it any faster. Maybe it wants to get into this fair value gap a little bit more. Maybe it wants to back test the top side of the range. Maybe it wants to drop into this VWAP right here. Maybe I should change the color on this VWAP since I got too many red colors showing up. I change it. That way you can tell exactly what the number is. So that's 64655 right here on the Binance chart. And if you didn't see how I drew it, you have two lower pivots down there that were touching on this trend line that I plotted, and that's how I do my VWAPs. Okay, that's how I do my VWAPs. That's how I anchor my VWAPs. I gotta have a reason to plot it at a specific place. So maybe it wants to do this right here. I think I want you to see this BS B thing, because I am going to give this thing another short. It could be back testing right now for rejection. It could be. But you're gonna see what I'm talking about too. If you've never been here and when you see me like, oh, it's squeezing, it's gonna do something. It's gonna do something right in here. So don't worry, this bounce is coming. It's coming. It might not give you that much, but it's coming. And take a look right here at this BSB chart right here. So I was watching this BSB. I'm gonna drop this. So I was watching this BSB. I was like, okay, I know it can come into some resistance right here at this 64.10 all the way up into here. All right, so I know it can come into some resistance right there. Is it going to get there? It starts to stall out right here. Like, it starts going real slow. So of course, I put in my lines through here looking for a breaking point on it. And so I could see that it was squeezing. I can see that it had been squeezing. I needed for it to be closer to something though before I made that decision. I need to see something break also. So it's putting in the squeeze the same way Bitcoin putting in that squeeze right now. And then boom, it happens. So I get my first take profit out right here. I left the rest of it in. I kept thinking I was going to get stopped out right here on this move. I don't. This is the counter right here that just did it to me. So this just happened this morning. I can't even blame my baby. Yeah, that was the one. That took me out. So, Bitcoin is not holding up. Okay, so I'm gonna drop that first momentum one because we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do well with that one. We're into that VWAP right now. We're into that VWAP. We're into that top. I'm gonna have to come back to that crap right there. I'm gonna have to come back to it. I can't do it. We're in the VWAP. We're in the highs over here. We're in the fair value gap right now. I'm gonna have to move that dot out of my way so I can see. Just need to get that dot out of my way so I can see right here. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I gotta get to another. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. Big girl. I'm a big girl. I'm gonna go partial in on it. I'm not waiting on the confirmation. I can tell you that right now. I'm not waiting on the confirmation. So understand that I'm not waiting on the confirmation right here. Right here, I'm not. You see, I'm dismissing all of my rules. I'm dismissing all of my rules right now. It shouldn't be a rule breaker, but I'm putting partial in right here. Going partial in right here. I don't even need this line no more. That can go. Come on, Bitcoin. I'm gonna need you to do right. I'm gonna need you to do right now. I need you to do right now. Want to see this breakdown? Want to see this? Give us something. Give us something. Anyway, I'm partially in. I'm gonna add this other portion to it. If it slips right there, let's just say momentum decides to push through this, I will add the other half into it. It's never really a good idea to add to a losing trade, but I know where my invalidation is sitting at for me right now. And so once it hits my invalidation, then I just kill the trade. As long as I'm within my validation point, I'm fine. That'll be like being in this right here and saying I'm gonna add a little bit, I'm gonna add a little bit, but once it breaks, yeah, I gotta close you out. It's like that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying do no bot stuff and just keep adding. You all pass where your invalidation is. All right, but I'm in here. I'm in it. Barely. I'm barely up, but I did take that trade. I did take it. I just want you to know that I did take it. This is what you pay attention to: entries and exits. I did take it. Now it's just up to Bitcoin. It's just up to Bitcoin whether or not it wants to hold here or not. Whether it wants to hold here or not. I'm playing the confluence. That's what I'm playing, the confluence. Fair value gap. Prior highs that could, be flipped into support. Imbalance on momentum. Don't mean it can't keep going, but it's a good probability. It's I'm looking at this squeeze over here, even though you can see it turn back in. That's fine too. It turned back in. It's still gonna give. Anyway, I'm gonna jump off of that again. I'm gonna jump back over here on this BSB thing. So you can see I was waiting for something to break. Something started to break. I got in that doji candle break. Also, all that good stuff. Made some quick profits on it, came back, and it was like I thought I was gonna get stopped out right there. It didn't do it. I could see what a culprit is. It just actually happened. I did not get a chance to take profit right in here. Now that not my baby's fault either. That's 2 o'clock, two whatever time. So all of that good stuff right there. But these are some levels that I was looking at right here. Just in the immediate around this zone, some levels that I was looking at just right here in this zone, just this clean bounce right there, clean freaking bounce, man, clean freaking bounce. Um, I was looking for this next breakdown right here, which we ended up getting, and then you can see that we ended up getting the mean reversion. So we dropped in between our green and our red ribbon, likely right here, and now we're back testing probably the red to the upside. If they flipped, I don't even know if they flipped on me, but we had the squeeze happening in here too, so I knew it was getting ready to, hit a climax. Now, could this just be a back test right here, and then it's going to roll back over? That could be the thing. So I could look to re-enter on this, but the only way I would do that, uh, I need to zoom out to another time frame. To be honest with you, that's the only way I could do that. I would have to zoom out to another time frame to see. Let me make sure this stuff don't come with me. You can see we're back testing that breakout right here as well. Back testing the breakdown right there. All right, let's go 4 hour. It did end up showing that was going to be a floor, but at some point this is going to break too. This is going to break too. This was the last time it squeezed. It was right through here. You started squeezing all through here, but where you really took that big sell off was right here on this squeeze right here. Crappy chart. Crappy chart. Look at this. This is a crappy chart. Like I said, I added some pivots through here just to see where, how it moves, how it might move. But you got some really good resistance through here. Hopefully it doesn't break up through that thing. But you got some good, see these points right here? See that? You got some good resistance right in here. If it were to get into here, got some good resistance right in here. Which I'm hoping that this thing is looking to reject, and then I can get back in on this. Like to see that get a little bit tighter. A little bit tighter. I was looking at this too. Momentum wise, right in here. I think it had actually pushed up and then rejected back underneath it. I think that was what had happened. But this RSI on this thing right here, I don't see the relative strength in this thing. Let me just put it to you like that. I don't see it being this strong. I mean, maybe, over here, it was legit. I don't see that strength coming in, but let this thing tell it it's strong. It's strong. I think over here it may have bounced off of the yellow ribbon. Yeah. And the yellow one was sitting right here. Which tells me it can come all the way back down into these lows right now. That's all this is telling me. It can come all the way back down here into, these highs. It can come all the way back down here into these highs. Right here. But here on this 1 hour, yeah, between the green and the red, I figured that much. And it's still, the spread still looks pretty decent, but these are getting tight. So unless it gets a God candle out of here, it goes slow like this, it could roll over, and then you actually get a MACD zero line cross and get more of that pullback that I was just mentioning to you off of this thing. But yeah, might be my new babe right here. This might be my new baby. It might be. I might like it like that. We'll see. I'm not gonna touch it right now because I need to see it roll down. I need to see it roll down. I really, at this point, yeah, I'm gonna need to see it roll down first before I touch it because I don't want to do no crazy stuff. And the reason why I moved my stop loss to break even actually, um, seeing how I can do the crazy candles and stuff, but not no bad chart. The other thing I missed yesterday was hype. Now hype me up. Hype me up. Now hype me up. I hype me up. I love that song. I was looking for it to come back into the golden pocket for the short. Like this, I knew people were gonna try to short the top side of the channel. And I'm calling it a channel, but all you have right now is one touch on the lower end. Or one, it connected to the lower end. But I knew people were gonna short it right here. I still stand by my thoughts that it can still be looking to break out of here and put in another high. Like I'm not counting this high right here. And we just came back to the top of the channel, which again, I said people are going to be shorting this right here. They're going to be shorting it. They're going to be shorting it. Obviously, they're going to be shorting it. But I was watching on 15-minute, which I don't usually do that for, looking at it on 15-minute time frame. But I was because I wanted to see it come back into the golden pocket 786. And then I was going to enter into a short position, but I missed that yesterday. I ended up missing it. So too late, coming down now. Because it was initially bouncing off of the 382. It got a flag bouncing off the 382. You know how crazy that is, right? When you flag into a 382 and you bounce, that's a good flag. Like that's a flag. And somebody say they got a flag, it should not be going beyond the 382. Like it should not be, well, let's say 382.50. It should not be breaching the 382.50. Like it should hold this pocket right here if it's a flag. And then you're looking for that breakout from it. Like that's a strong move right there. But we got that golden pocket back test, and now it's dropping sadness. But if you don't know what that channel right there is, and you like it's a good short spot. It's a good short spot. It's nothing more than this. It's a good short spot. And just like we got that bounce off that center right there. But I was gonna get in here and get something out of Hyperliquid, but I missed everything yesterday. So too bad. Too bad. I missed everything yesterday. Is it a double top? If it is, then and you short off of that test of this high again, even if you're just looking at that, off of this test of this high again, and it breaks this low, then you know what to look for. Look for it to come down here. Look for that. I find it hard to believe it because of this leading diagonal right here. But maybe that was it. Maybe that was the 5. I don't know. Maybe that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. I try to play what I do know. And I knew I wanted to get that short. Because I wasn't willing to take it right here earlier. I wasn't willing to take it right there earlier. So that's my loss. I wasn't willing to take that earlier. Might have something else in here now. I could move this to here. What is this line? Oh. Dang, I drew it twice. I must didn't see it. All right, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. We've broken the 50. We got the golden pocket. We got the larger 382 50% retracement right here. What I'm gonna do for you now is this right. You know what? I'm just gonna do the full channel. I'm just gonna do that. Let me make sure that will be into the golden pocket. If that works. If that works. Um, Maybe it doesn't. I don't really like it. I liked this one because I still have the 38250 all the way down here at 67, 64, um, which is around this low, which could be support right here. And then you got this. It could be support again like it was over here. Um, yeah, that's too much. That's too much. I'm gonna get back to Bitcoin. Um, Let me just. I'm anal, so bear with me. I'm real specific when it comes to drawing trends. I like to make sure that I'm doing it right. I don't like doing stuff like this. I see people do stuff like this, be cutting through everything, be drawing off of the impulsive move, and I hate that. I hate that. I do not like that. So I'm very specific. So bear with me if you're here because I'm very anal when it comes to drawing a pattern, potential pattern, potential pattern. This all belongs to the 15-minute. No, it doesn't. What does this belong to? You belong to the city. I don't know what this belongs to. I don't know. Did this belong here? It did. It did. It was our support of the momentum all the way up, and then breaking back test, golden pocket, rejection. So we're at a key level right now around this golden pocket. So I want to see that hold. Let me drop this now. To just reflect that. Let me just drop. I don't know if that's going to be the one. Make sure I'm not cutting anything when I draw it. Let's see if I can't put it over here without cutting through anything. If I'm cutting through that lower one, then I have to. Let me see it. A little bit. A little bit I am. So I'm do it like that. Sorry. I got this touch. And then I got this touch. So this more be 38250. And then that's this one. All right. So we're somewhere around that red ribbon. I can tell coming into it now. As we're looking to, if we're breaking that, then we're breaking 40, which is fine. It can break it and then reclaim back up above it. But this is starting to get a little weird right here, which means that the MACD is close to that zero line. So how problematic could this be? It either holds right here or it falls through and maybe it does like the 50% retracement instead. Maybe that ends up happening. But right here, I can see that we're close to that zero. So if we're close to that zero and we do breach that, then this could just continue to roll over right here because it's about to enter weakness right now, out of neutral into weakness right now. The last time wasn't that brutal. The last time it crossed down below it was right here. It's right here. Uh, and then you can see this was also around the moved into relative weakness right in here also. Um, it's either looking to hold right here, right now, or it might end up coming down here to 64. Somewhere down in here. Back test this trend line right here. See if this actually has, if it can hold support right in here for hyperliquid. Let me just check one more thing. Let me see what this is looking like. Yeah. An increase in bearish strength, more than likely, is what that's representing. So, I mean, if you were taking a chance, that would be it. Somewhere right around where it is right now. I would wait for. Actually, with this one, I would just wait. I would just wait because it did just reject off of that um, golden pocket. The last thing you want is for this to really start to accelerate and become something more. So just in case it wants to become something more, and I think this pivot is higher. I'm gonna do this. It's my lowest point right there, and back up to this high wick right here, just in case, because you never know. You never know. So that puts, yeah. So that would put the 1.618 right here. Put the 1.618 right here around the 382. And I'll turn the levels on just so you can identify what I'm saying to you. So that's your 1.618. Let's just say that that's selling, which is showing that it has the potential of increasing right here. Um, that does happen. Jeez. This is the 1.618. This is the 2. That's down here at this VWAP where we have the trend line at. In case this ends up being a 1, 2, 3, maybe a 4, 5, just in case that ends up being the situation. Because I don't know. We don't know. Psychologically, I would think that it would bounce from here. I'd rather put it on the 6.5 than put it on the 1.618, even though it could. Like, personally, I'd rather put it on the 6.5. And then, I mean, this really isn't good because the support isn't what until right in here. Yeah, the support is all the way down here. Like, I like that. Like, I like this and this and even that. Like, I like this. So the support isn't even until it comes down towards this. So that might be, this might be, it could end up being a 5-wave structure. Then you get a 4, 5. So I mean, could end up being that. I don't know. Jeez. I would see what a reaction looks like if that happens. But really, support comes in somewhere down in here. Like you really want to wait for some reaction that says something different. But this right here, let me just give it some room, give it some breathing room. Yeah, it would be something like that. 1.618, 786. I mean, these fibs just lining up. They're not the confluence at all. It's really the pivots that I'm looking at right here. I'm just going to change this color so I don't get confused about it. Trying to bounce. Gave myself a note that it did break that structure. Hold on. I was like, note to self, it did break structure. When I did that, that's why I started looking for the 3-8. I mean the golden pocket 786 rejection, because all through here you're gonna see that it refused to close below the low. Like it dropped below it, but it wouldn't close below it. You see, it wouldn't close below that low. Wouldn't close below it. Then I was like, all right, well, let me check out the next one. Let me see what happens right here. Nope, it won't close below. And then finally, it closed below it with this candle right here. This red candle right here. I was like, okay, so now I can look for it to come back up and reject because it wasn't closing below. Like as long as this thing ain't closing below, it might come back up and blast through that high. And I finally saw that close below. I was like, make a note for yourself that it did break. I mean, it was breaking, but not actually closing. So you want to see that closure. You weren't getting that closure. Got that closure. Yeah. Now you really broken. So all right, I'm gonna jump back onto Bitcoin. I think in 1 hour is a better time frame to watch for right now. You've breached everything that could be breached on the 15 minute, so I wouldn't focus on the 15. I wouldn't focus on something that's already broken everything. I focus on something that hasn't broken down too much. Let me just turn this back on so you can see where we're trying to hold at 40 right now. Trying to hold at 40 right now. Remember, I can be petty wetty. I can be petty wetty. Like it could actually hold right here. Remember, I was petty wetty on the daily time frame when we got the bounce too. I was petty wetty. Was it? Yeah, I was petty wetty right here. We bounced off of it. I was petty wetty. We bounced off of the 40. We bounced off the 40. Like that's still relative. That's neutral. It's neutral. It's not weakness. So we still bounce from there. And that was petty wetty. And every other time before we bounced off of it, we bounced off of it. We bounced off of it. So I was real petty and I didn't get in. So just know that I can be petty and not enter a position. So maybe it wants to hold there. Maybe. I don't see any confirmation. I'm not doing it. I don't care if it bounces away or not. It did just reject. Maybe it holds as a flag. I don't know. Yeah, the next candle might tell me something more. Or when this candle closes, which has 24 minutes left on this candle. So this candle needs to close to tell me something. Let me see on a 4-hour time frame. Let me take away these VWAPs for a minute because they're just extra noise in the way of what I'm actually trying to see. Looks like I can turn off everything right here, but what I will do is let's just hide these drawings right now. All right, so you got that, which means yeah, you're just back at a 60, which is still strength on a 4 hour time frame. Lose 60, be looking for 67. And what we were looking at, bam, was these highs right through here. This highs, this low, right through here, comes in around that 50 right here, which over time, got 23 minutes left on this candle, that could move head and shoulder on the RSI. Head and shoulder on the RSI. But it could come down to this situation, get a quick little bounce like it did right there. It could do that right here. Um, Obviously, which means it looks like what on the daily? Far from any, yeah, like far from any problems. No major red flags right here, right now. Um, yeah, I'll take that back. I'll take that back. This didn't even get that high. That didn't even get that high. Dang. Like it slipped into strength real quick. And now it's looking to slip back out of it on this daily. So maybe you do get that bottom channel back test. I don't, maybe you do. Need some more confirmation in here, that's for sure. You're still holding above zero on your correction. On your correction. Overextended. Right in here. Maybe you do. Because if that's breaking down, then it'll excel. So that sucks. MACD so close. Well, the delta is so close to zero, like it could. Um, I don't know. It's up to you if you want to catch a falling knife. If you're more bullish on it, then it's better to wait for a long entry. If you're bearish, then I would wait for a correction and then take a short. I would not try to catch the falling knife. I would not try to catch the falling knife because it could just slip. It could just slip. But that's where you can be risk on though. If it doesn't hold here, then and this is broken. This broke. Momentum broke, obviously. You can see it right here. You got a momentum break, breakdown off of that back test to that golden pocket. You can see that it taps that golden pocket, of course, and then you can see the momentum also break here on the 4 hour time frame. This could be looking across zero, although MACD doesn't. It could be looking across zero, which means you have already got your no, you don't have it yet, but once it does, then of course you have your MACD fast signal cross. I use the same thing that the Delta uses. Like when momentum is lost on the MACD, that just makes it faster for me. Which usually comes, just depending on your time frame, it'll come with a back test or something like that. Just depends on your time frame, how fast you get that. I want to see the waning energy just so I can get it faster. I think I'm using a close in here as well. If I was using something else, it probably already would have showed me that it had broke down. I'm not using, I've been testing a different source on it. Bitcoin bouncing a little bit. So we in the profits if you tagged along with that trade. Um, Dang, it's 7:40 already. Already. I was going to open a small short last night, but didn't trust it to last. On which project? Why crypto YT? Was it Bitcoin or was it another coin? Was it something else? I'm gonna smack your hand while crypto YT because I know you was here when we was talking about that VWAP. That price action could come into that VWAP instead and look for the rejection off of that VWAP to take a short. And it happened with zero risk. Like not that it always works out that way, but it did have zero risk to it. Like if you guys saw that it had zero on BTC, yeah, it had zero risk to that move. Zero. I mean, even if you did the point of control, which I didn't trust that point of control because it didn't have anything else with it, so I didn't trust it, which is why I looked at the on follow Bitcoin, I suppose, which is why I looked at the VWAP. The VWAP was closer to some pivots and stuff. That's why I looked at that. You're not late if you wait on a break either. You're not late. Visibility current interval only. You still wouldn't be late if you waited on a break. I think I did that. Well, that was what I was going to do because I didn't get a chance to do this trade. That's far off. That could actually hold right here. Was waiting on the break. You can always wait on the break on another time frame if you needed to. Momentum looks like it's going to try to curve back up on this. Let's see if that happens. It does show that it is actually quite extended down through here. Uh, it is trying to hold. Gotta move this up on this time frame. So right now, don't have a lot. It just got this extra pivot right here, which is also in tune a little bit with this one, but maybe back into these lows, potentially back into these lows, 72, 76, something like that. Maybe back into, yeah, 72 to 72.1 to 72.7, something like that, since we are getting the bounce off of Bitcoin. We'll put us back over here on this. I hate leaving it open with sleep. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I really do too. I hate leaving something open when I'm sleeping. Even if my risk is managed, I'm a control freak. You're Aries. You are Aries too. Yeah, a little bit of a control freak. A little bit of a control freak. So we are getting a little bounce over here off of Bitcoin. This is not accelerating into a break. I want to see this white line disappear. I want to see it out of sight. I don't want to be able to see it. I want to see red, or I want to see that teal looking color. I don't want to see the white though. That's when you know you're really breaking down or breaking out, breaking, pushing higher, uh, like on the short side. But I don't want to see that white. But we are getting that little bit of a bounce right here. Thank you, VWAPs. Thank you, Fair Value Gap. Thank you, prior highs. Thank you. Momentum still has to curve up. Still has to curve up. So we still working on this. We're still working on this. I don't need both of these screens. I'm trying to figure out how to say the word screens anymore. But pardon the noise. Do still want to see this momentum actually turn up. But good morning, Crypto Billy. Good morning. I got to go back in and change. See, I like your thumbnails. I like yours too, Y Crypto YT. I need to go back in and change the goat thumbnail and the background. That plain gray, that plainness is ugh, ugh. I gotta change that. That plainness is I realized that when I did it, that it was way too plain, like way too like no popping colors or anything like that. I need some color, so probably gonna be blue, yellow, and white. Probably gonna be that blue, yellow, and white. But I need some color. It's just gray. It's just gray. I don't like that grayness. All right, up a little 5%. A little 5% on Bitcoin. A little 5%. Not bad. I say every time I want to take a big trade, a bigger trade for my little small money, okay? For my little small money. I'm not one of those channels you're gonna tune into. You ain't gonna see my money, okay? First of all. That's a little bit too much information. but but every time I want to take I just don't. I don't know. I just don't. Or when I do, I'm really paranoid. I'm really paranoid. I've gotten a little bit more comfortable with certain sizes now as I inch my way up. As I inch my way up. Oil send a little bounce off the 75, 29. We're seeing a little bit of a bounce right there. All right, oil. A little bit. It ain't much. It's about the same as it did when we tapped into that 80/20 for oil. All right, hype. Now hype me up. Doing a little bit better. I look at Zcash. What is Zach doing? I changed my love. See, it did get that little candle wick on that BSB thing. Yeah, got that candle wick, but momentum is not actually increasing on it. Well, actually, the trend is trying to get a little bit stronger. I'll look back at that thing some other time. I actually need to add this to my chart, but right now is not. I'm not gonna floor back into this thing anytime soon. I do like that little wick right there though, but I'm gonna have to see what that looks like because it's well beyond 786, more like an 886. Uh, it's a nice little wick rejection. You see, momentum wasn't agreeing with this so-called move it's trying to make, but I ain't gonna play with this thing. Not right now. I need to see some other confirmations. I didn't look at Zach. Let me see how Zach doing. Yeah, because we were looking for Zcash to come back into here, tap into the 38250 and get a bounce away. Got a small one just like Hyperliquid did, but that's it. So we'll probably break this time. You can see right here on this rising structure that we laid out right here. Yeah, that seems to be something important. That's something important. Anytime you have a moving average running through a trend line or in sync with a trend line, that's something rather important, and it is. So right here, that means that price action has the ability, like the momentum dropping into 30, basically, once it drops down below here. And you really want to see it reclaim. Let me make sure I put this right here. But that's where your RSI would hit 30 at 468. Unless something is off in here, because that's moving too fast for me to think that that's going to be a 30 right now. 36. It'll hit 30. Yeah, it would hit 30 right here. So maybe it'll bounce off of 30. I most certainly wouldn't think that 382 will hold again. I'm not thinking that in the least bit, but it's Zcash. When it wants to move, it moves. And is this right? It don't seem like it's right. It's just because of the time frame that I'm looking at. This VWAP must have cut through the top right here. This one, it might have cut across the top. Cut through it. Didn't actually cut across the top. I can watch for something like this, I suppose. That's just assuming that it did get in here and break down, and then maybe it wants to treat these prior lows in here as some sort of treat it as support, which is just a weekly level, by the way. Might I add you? I don't have it on, but right here you can see that that's what we were holding. We was holding the weekly level down through here. So maybe it just comes back into here and taps that, or maybe I don't think that this top side. I hate to start pulling these things out. Um, Pull it to Friday. I won't pull them all out. I just do that one right now. I think that that's 449, 449. Because if that's 30, then you probably be hitting 20 somewhere down here about 449. That'll be really extended. Doesn't mean that it can't continue to drop, because it can. But I would start there with 449 for Zcash. And then if Zcash can't hold 449, or these highs in here around this 449, then I would look for it to come back towards the lows. And I would look to see if it couldn't hold the lows before it gave a little bit of some sort of a bounce, and then maybe continuation down. This played out a three-wave move as far as I was concerned. I was thinking it was going to give more. It didn't. I looked for the long, and I did take the long off of this for anybody. I did take the long, but I cut it off of this break right here. And the rest was history, and it went higher. Seems like every time I cut Zcash, it goes higher. I cut it right here the last time, and then it did this extra because I picked it up at 200. Picked it up, yeah, picked it up down here in that weekly level right there, 200. Rolled it up. I looked at it on Coinbase because I did a spot at that time. I did a spot, and then I looked at it. As soon as I closed it out, you see them God candles. That's when it got really crazy and kept going. Every time I cut it, it's crazy. Every time I cut it, right behind when I cut it, like it did chop for a while, at least right here. But every time I cut it, that's where you get the acceleration from. really don't see that holding again, but maybe it wants to. Maybe it wants to. I wouldn't buy into that personally. But if it doesn't come back down here in momentum, I don't. I just, it doesn't look like momentum is increasing in my opinion. It looks like it's decreasing. Yeah, I would say it's decreasing. All right, got three little candles here on Bitcoin to the upside, which is good. Which is good. Three little candles, three little green candles, one, two, three to the upside, right here. It could just come back and back test the region of the value area low and the breakdown trend line right here. It may do that, which is, that's a decent move in my opinion if we were to get that much. Uh, oh, Bitcoin, do not come with the shenanigans. All right, it's 7:57, guys. I do have to get myself together. I do have a all part of the learning curve, no big deal. Yeah, yeah, I know, Crypto Billy. I know, but sometimes, yeah, yeah. It sucks though. It sucks when you miss. Like, actually, it wasn't even about missing the rest of that move for me. I looked at what my return was, and I said that my return was good because I could have stayed in it. I could have counted the waves and did all that good stuff. But when I looked at my return said, okay, on spot position, like nothing else had been really pumping like that. Like, not something that I would trust enough to buy on spot anyway. And when I was up over 100% off of that move, it was like, oh, okay, off a spot. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna take this because everything else in my portfolio was red. So it's like, I'm not gonna be greedy. This is good. I stopped paying attention to it, to be honest with you, because if I was paying attention to it, Lord knows I probably would have been out of it earlier. But I stopped paying attention to it because I was so comfortable buying in the spot. And when I saw the return on it, I was like, that's good. I'll take that. I don't, yeah, the rest of it can ride, but really, once it starts pushing, it's like instant regret. Instant regret. All right, why crypto YT? I hope everybody has a wonderful day. We'll see if we can't maintain this VWAP right here. Um, Usually the second VWAP don't hold when the first one do, the second one doesn't. So this one right here may be no bueno right here. I do want to see that momentum curve up. 15 minute is holding up okay, but we do need to see momentum curve up because if not, then it will floor on us. Maybe it comes back. Maybe it comes back and bounces off of that 64,058. That would be this right here, 64,058. That high right there. Um, Without taking out liquidity, that would be great if it's going to hold up going into the Fed meeting. That's about as much as I would look for on it. If it's going to hold up going into the Fed meeting right now, again, I said I didn't want that. We was looking at this for the past 2 days, but I was like, I don't want that. Today I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want it. Like, but we came into it and thank goodness we are holding it right now. Ooh, for our candle just open. It's slow. I'm hoping that we at least get a push back up into a back test. And then if we reject from there, then cool. But hopefully we can make some money off of the long entry. Come on, Bitcoin. I know. Hopefully. Not going I mean we broke everything, but hopefully. And all we can do is just take the chance. Spot over time is a win. Yep. Yep. Spot over time is definitely a win. Definitely a win. It would be nice if you could short with just spot. Like why? Like if I have the funds to cover my position going up um and down, then why do we have to borrow funds? Like that's the trap. That's the trap right there. You can do it in stocks. I know you can do it on Webull. Like you can short without leverage on Webull. So why can't I do it in crypto? It's my thing. All right. Daily. I do know that that value area high is the support level. Um, I think that's this the 64.58. I think that's the 64.58. Yeah, it is that what that value area high is. So if the 4 hour just slips, wants to keep coming down, it is that 64.058 right there. And then the bottom side of that, what you're looking at over here, the bottom side, right here, that 62.909. That's this, I do believe. That's this 62.909. That's below that point of control right there. But that value area high one does come in right here with that pivot right there. That's 64.058. We straight nuked straight through those levels coming back down that time, that go round. But this where we at right now. Remember, this is where big money stepped in off of this candle right here that we're trying to find support off of right now. Well, around this right here. This is where big money stepped in right there. So that's why we was really looking at it. That's where they step in at. Right here. See that candle? That's where they stepped in off of that candle right there. And you can see it in the volume. That's what we're looking to hold. So if I gave you any insight today, please hit the like button. I love and appreciate you for being here. I am down to crypto TA. I'm also down to do stock market. Okay. I'm also down to do stock market. Actually, while we're here and you do understand what's actually happened, you have volume over price and you have volume over time. So um, that's your VRVP, and then that's your volume down here at the bottom. So volume over time would be your VRVP. Volume over price is going to be your bars down here at the lows down here. Volume over price And you can put them two together. That's another lesson for another day. I act like I don't understand something. Sometimes I understand very well. But that's what we're holding. We're trying to hold this volume candle right here where institutional money stepped in and they bought the crap out of Bitcoin. Even though we continue to roll down a little bit, you can see right there where you put in your first little triangle formation and we lose it. And then we drop down and we put in the second one right in here. But this is the spot right here. Need for that money to actually do something. You can see we got the reaction coming back up too, right there at that same spot. So hopefully that works and everybody gets paid today. Everybody gets paid today. What was I about to do? Oh, oh, look at oil. Look at oil. Look at oil. Look at it. It might not do any more than what it did when it got right here to the 80-20. Because I was like, okay, we keep hitting these support levels. This is the last spot right here. It's the last spot right here before we do a back test. It would be right here. I mean, maybe somebody else got something. I don't know. But for me, and I ain't trying to brag or anything like that, but I'm really good. I'm really good with that. I'm really good with that. Um, that's it. I was gonna say Home Depot because we haven't looked back at it. We've been talking about Home Depot now for over a month or so, saying that it's gonna be a good buy. And I still and I was gonna tell you, what was I gonna say to you yesterday? And I didn't get into it yesterday because I was like, I may not even have time, and I know I got to go right now. Retail, like you can see, retail is in the red. Like I've been saying, like we really need to look at some retail. We really need to look at some retail stocks because ain't nothing like getting into some retail when it's down. Like when it's down, it's down, and when a recession hits, retail, believe it or not, it performed really well during the dot-com bubble. And if you think you're going to get an AI bubble, retail can be your space to run into, okay? Um, but we have been watching Home Depot in here for a while, and I think Home Depot got away from us. It got away from us. The last time we looked at it, I think I was saying it got away from us too. Then got that VWAP bounce, baby. Got that VWAP bounce. It's probably gone. It's probably gone. I know we was looking at it and I said I can be petty. I can be petty and not enter the trade if it doesn't hit what I want it to hit. And sure enough, I wanted it to hit this line right here. And I'll tell you to not do what I do because don't do what I do. Like, don't do what I do because this may have gotten away from us. It may have. That was the 1-to-1 and then the VWAP, but I really wanted a back test on this trend line. It may have gotten away. I'm gonna see if we can't get another pullback in here on it. I cannot figure out why I got this line in here. Am I looking for price to come back to this or something? This might be I'm looking for price to come back to this. I don't know why I got it in here. Let me see if I can find a reason. Why is it here? There it is. That's why it's here. I am looking for price to come back to it. I'm looking for price to come back to it. That's why it's there. Some line isn't showing up or something. It's not that. Okay, so I'm missing a line that's not showing up. No. It's showing up. This is what I was looking. I was looking for us to tap into this and then take that entry on Home Depot. I think we too late. So I'm looking forward to get back into 360 right now. What was the other one? I know Elf, but I did actually get into Elf. I was being petty with Elf too, right here in the box, because I really wanted it to tap into the golden pocket and the trend line. Again, another trend line tap. I was petty with gold too. Understand that. I was looking forward to get back into this trend line. I was saying that 5 might just be this trend line right here with the golden pocket. But I did buy. I did buy. So I am in the elf. I am in the elf situation. I am in elf, and we hit that low again. So perfect, so perfect. But that was what I wanted, was all the way right here. So I knew we was getting ready to reverse. At least I understood that we was getting ready to do some sort of a ABC correction, potentially right through here. ABC correction. So elf is looking good. Tell you what ain't looking good. Uh, right now. Well, it ain't looking bad either. I jumped into DG. I jumped into DG right after earnings. Um, and I think I jumped into DG, DG on the. Hold on, where did I jump in? And I knew it was earnings day. Let me see if I'm down because I don't know where I actually entered. Let me see if I'm down. Yeah, I jumped in on that green candle. I think it was green. This candle was green, and I jumped in on the green candle. I didn't wait for it to retrace or anything like that, but it came back down into the level. So I'm down on that. Nike still holding up after the back test and that break right here. Still holding up. Not doing as good as people would expect for it to do right now, especially with the World Cup taking place. Was looking for a little bit more out of it. Still going to keep holding out. We're not going to change anything. What else retail was it? Um, I had mentioned Walmart, but it was too late. It's not one that we want to do anyway because it's well above its 52-week high or whatever. Like we really was looking at stuff that was a good company, but that was down. Like Home Depot ain't going nowhere. We know that Home Depot's not going anywhere, and it's just in time. We was talking about how we hadn't really had like a good storm or anything like that. Not that I want to see people get hurt because I don't want to see that. I just, just looking at things that actually help with it, and a sell off in tech helps with it as well, and give a boost to real estate. Um, we were looking at Marvell yesterday. We looked at Marvell. Oh baby, oh baby, oh. How saying that that could be your rejection. That could be your rejection. And sure enough, remember, dude say he's selling. The guy that's walking away, I don't know how to say his last name, but we looked at that. We looked at the SEC filing. Like any other time that he sold, though, it didn't really have any effect on Marvell. But that was the back test right here. And the rejection came yesterday when market opened. I think it did run back up here yesterday during market open. It came back up and tapped in because initially yesterday we was looking at it. We were just here around the golden pocket. It came up yesterday during market open, hit the 786, saying that this right here can be your place right here to take that short on Marvell. I didn't short Marvell. Um, I don't enter everything I talk about, but that was a good one. I told you Microsoft, but I got to look at it. Microsoft and HIM's got some unusual option activity happening. Um, Let me see what HIM's look like real quick. Might be too late. Should have considered it when it broke down below this level right here. I don't really like when they don't respect the levels though. I get a little scared, but a little inverse head and shoulder right there. Um, and let me see what Microsoft is doing. That strategy. Let me see what strategy look like. This thing right here is kicking my butt right now. Like I'm really starting to sink in money on Pony right now. I got it trapped into this little falling trend line right here. Like I was up really big on Pony, and I just added some more to it. And I'm gonna have to add again. I'm gonna have to add again. Trying to get to Microsoft. Still down though. So it's still down. The last update I gave on it, I was saying didn't want to get too bearish, even though this right here should have been coming up instead of coming down when I was trying to count it. Right here, saying don't get too bearish. It could drop and hold right in here. Maybe it did hold a golden pocket or something. Let's see. Because when I posted on it, I said I don't know if it's a head and shoulder. Okay, so it is in the golden pocket 786 region. I don't know if it's going to be a head and shoulders or if it's going to just be a higher low, and then Microsoft is actually going to break out. I was also looking at the possibility of it not breaking this and doing something else, but this part right here starts out wrong when it should be starting out like this. So that's the only thing. Maybe it does, and I have to take it off of this right here because, yeah, maybe it does, and I have to take it off of this. But I did that because that gave me the 2 touch points I needed to see where we might get a rejection from it. Yeah. You can see what I was referring to on the potential head and shoulder situation. But I said, don't get overly bearish. This it's not a leading. It's not a leading. It's not. It's not. But it is holding right here. It's risky. I would want to see it reclaim back inside of this channel. That's what I would need to see. But you less at risk right in here. It does have some unusual option activity looking. It was a strong call position on it, which means it could actually just bust to the upside. It's just taking some time. Hopefully it'll come back down in here a little bit first, and then we can see the push out on it. But keep your eyes on Microsoft. I mean, if you were gonna do it, it would be right in here. Yeah. If we were gonna do it, it would be right in here. I'm not doing Microsoft though. I'd rather do Home Depot. Yeah, I'd rather do something like Home Depot. I'm a little slow on this move right here, but we are in the support level. I ended up taking a position. Let me put it on the 4. Ended up taking a position in Palantir, which I'm in profits right now on Palantir. I had to choose this because I missed the Amazon. I missed the Amazon entry that we were looking at, VWAP. I said I wanted to be a little bit more patient on taking my entry here. Even though we watched it, we looked at it for a while. We got the short entry completely filled out right here at the 237. Was looking right here, and I said I think it could give a little bit more, so I was going to be a little bit patient. And then it hit the VWAP, and then I wasn't around for it. What was I? I was working. I had to do. The Coin King calls it a snitch job, but that's what I was doing. So I ended up missing this one. I took the initial move over here, that one, and the next one, that was the short. You guys got a stellar giving way in advance, stellar entry on that short. And then the long, did I delete my long setups? It looks like I deleted them. They're on X. It's on X. I just wanted to be patient and I missed it. So it may I don't know if this is gonna run all the way up, but because I missed it, I jumped into Palantir. I told you guys that last week. I jumped into Palantir. So I couldn't chase this move. It did come back down though. It did come. No. The VWAP tap had not already happened. Forgive me. The VWAP tap had not already happened. It was on the chart. But what we did was we were holding right in here. We were holding right in here, and we got the bounce away. So the same day that same morning when I was talking about it, saying that I missed it, so I'm doing Palantir. When market opened, when market opened, it came back down, and then it tapped the VWAP. Then it tapped the VWAP. I could have got in right here, but I'd already committed my money to Palantir, so I didn't get a chance to do that. I didn't get a chance to do it. I'd already committed my money to Palantir. I couldn't commit my money to Palantir and Amazon both. So I went with the one that I thought that I missed out. I thought that I completely missed out on that move right there. And then it turned out that that day, that morning when market opened, it sold down into that VWAP. But it was too late. It's too late. I couldn't take it. That was the short setup. That was the short setup right there. And I covered with you why I thought that was going to be the spot right there, as opposed to the trend line was looking up here at that 278. And that's exactly where we came to for the short setup in here. And then, of course, you can see where the TP was, 238 down there. So that was that. And then that was the other short setup that I also gave. I'm pretty good with Amazon. I'm pretty good with Amazon. Um, it moves, it behaves very well. I like trading Amazon because it behaves very well. It's well behaved. What Bitcoin doing while I'm talking? I know I got to get out of here. I got to get ready for this job, but they gonna fire me. Fire my behind. Um, this is where I was like, this is high risk. I'm taking a gamble trying to take this one right here. But it did print. It printed. It didn't do the full move in here, which was just a small move. Just a small move right here. It didn't give it all the way. And then it came back. So I came back and let you know that I got stopped out on that Amazon long setup. But it moved far enough to take profit out of it. And then this was the one down here, that 237 that we were just looking at, where it ends up bouncing at 234. It's this one right here. So this is the one I thought that I completely missed, because I said I'm gonna be patient. I'm just not gonna do it right now. I'm not gonna do it. I was gonna be a little bit more patient. I know I said that in here somewhere. I don't see it right now. Um, but here we are, right here. Yeah. So this is the 237 right here. But I'm like, I'm holding out. I'm holding out. And the short setup played out, and it could be a little bit more downside left, but most of the downside had already taken place. Um, I just needed a little bit more confirmation, because this one right here, where were we at? This one right here. This one right here came up and rejected off of that trend line. That long rejected off of that trend line, and then sent us down. Which I wasn't looking, again. I wasn't looking to invalidate this part right here. I was only looking for that small move, just like right now. Are we there yet? It looks like we might have reached 251. No, it's close to tapping into that 251 though. It's close to it. But yeah, I did. Turned out that I didn't miss it, but I moved on to Palantir. I didn't give any setups on X on Palantir though. Unfortunately, I didn't give anything on it, but pretty close. Let's see, pretty close to filling now. And I've already deleted it, so I'm not gonna be able to add it back. So 249, and that setup goes up to 251. Why did I choose 251? To be honest with you, uh, why did I choose 251? It was something that made me say 251, right? It has to be something that made me go 251. I don't know. I don't know what made me go 251. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see what that reason is. So I don't know. Is it a golden pocket or something? Maybe. Yeah. So 786. 786. But right now it's reacting around this golden pocket. So uh if you follow me on X or if you've been listening to me here on the stream, I don't know if I covered it too much on stream. I don't know if I did or not. But yeah, be defensive. Be defensive with your money. That's for sure. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. We need some more stock setups. We need more. We need more stock setups. Um, we need it. Momentum is not turning back up either. So, like I said, you can be patient. You can wait for that momentum to actually break back up because right now it's showing that momentum is not inclining. That's a problem right here for us. Eat my breakfast, and I'll see you tomorrow. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be in the same boat as some other people. I don't know. I'm not gonna be here to stream for the FOMC. You're bullish for today, it sounds. No, 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 no. I'm not bullish. I'm not bullish. Not on the not for today. I'm actually not bullish. I think that we're going to continue going down. But it's hard to not find some sort of content when you're talking. And not that I want anybody to be in anything messed up, because I don't want you to be into anything messed up. I don't. But I think that we can get a bounce before we get that continuation down. That's all. But no, I'm not bullish right now. Right now, my bias remains bearish. My bias remains bearish because the 4 hour was very overextended. The 4 hour was showing that it needs to cool down. It's still at a place where it has to cool down even more. But we're at a level where we could see price action bounce from. So I just want to be aware of that. Try to catch a little bit of something in here if possible. Ooh, don't do that. Don't do that. Are we accelerating? But does we got to squeeze? I don't have it on right here. Let me see if we have a squeeze. We might have a squeeze. I just saw that little red line pop out. No, not necessarily a squeeze. So I don't know if this is about to accelerate to the downside or not. I'm in a short and I just opened that long. So I am in a short as well. My short is not the best entry. but I could see that we were losing this situation in here. Now there was a short given in here. I moved my stop on my short. I got stopped out yesterday. I had to re-enter. I re-entered like twice actually because again I explained it was my daughter's birthday and I couldn't manage my trade from my cell phone. And I took a little small entry in here, just looking at this coiling section right here that we had going on. We were coiling in here. You see these inside bars against this one. And it looked, I know I'm still looking for price action to roll over by way of this 4 hour. So short was what I was looking for yesterday to get back into. And I entered a short. So I do have a short as well. Only up 1% right now in this long situation. This new long I just entered today. But no, my bias is still bearish. I'm just looking for a bounce in between. My bias is still bearish. Like that's the short setup right there. The first one already completed. This was the VWAP slap, VWAP tap rejection right there. Looking at the formation. So overall, I think that we're going to come down. I'm not looking for us to break our low. No, I'm not looking for us to break our low. Could that happen? Anything can happen. But I still think that this 4 hours still has to correct. I do have this little short open right now. Not from my setup, of course. This I just entered last night. Last night I took a small position short right there. So small position short, just looking at this potential opportunity to jump in right there, jump back in right there, and then like I said, I just entered that long here. That's barely in profit. I will cut it if it doesn't work, but right now I'm okay. You can see it has changed a little bit in terms of the P&L. I think I was just saying how it was up like a little 5%. I think that captured it. I'm not sure. Let me see. Yeah. So that's the long. That's this right here that we're looking at right here. The VWAP bounce. And then of course this level that we have been watching for the past 2 days, talking about potentially this right here. And I just explained why this could actually hold for a bounce up, maybe just a back test into the breakdown area where I could add to the short and then get to continue move down, which it could be somewhere between that. It could be, it could be that we come down here to the low of this parallel situation that we got going on right now, which we did break up above that ever so up. Which we did break up above that ever so slightly. If I need to move it, I will, but it actually starts from here. So it could be that. Could we tap this? Could be that we tap that. But I am looking for a bounce up first. So not bullish, just looking for something more like that. Back test into that. And then possibly come back down into here, somewhere between here and this trend line. If that makes sense. Still very extended in my opinion. Momentum's not matching, so it doesn't hurt to look for a long setup. Momentum's not matching right now, but we absolutely broke momentum down. And the way we came up off of the daily suggests that we could put in a higher low and then continue higher, but after we correct with some correction. So just long in that, that's all. All right. Thank you, Master Win. Because you had me scared. Thought I was getting fussed at. Yeah. But yeah, just looking for this little bounce, just a little bit. Because otherwise I'm looking to add to my short, and if I get stopped out of my short, I'm just gonna go back to looking for a short because the 4 hour is still heated. It's still heated, and it still needs to. They're just doing this before the news comes out. Apparently, it's just before the news comes out, before we get into the FOMC meeting. That's what this is. And what time does the I know that the FOMC meeting is at 4:30, and then the Fed rate decision is at 2 p.m., which expecting no change. We don't really have any impact. Oh, Trump speaks at 9:30. That's what it is. So Donald Trump will be speaking at 9:30. I don't even know why they put this little orange envelope over here. It needs to be red because anytime he talks, it's a different story. We did have retail today. I don't really pay too much attention to them when they had the orange envelope. But with President Trump talking at 9:30, y'all be careful, okay? Y'all be extra careful. Protect yourself. And he gonna say something to the effect of this FOMC too. And then we're all getting that little bit of bounce. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if oil is about to bounce, and then this is all about to roll over, and stock market about to dump again. That could be the thing. That could be a surprise. That could be a surprise. Oil is at support. Oil is bouncing a little bit. And he getting ready to talk at 9:30. I'm just saying. As market is gonna open. Market's gonna open, and he's gonna talk when market opens. All right. See you tomorrow.